A ghost?
Greetings everyone, I'm OCDsaster, and this is OCDsaster Blue, my Sonic exclusive channel, where everything we do here is Sonic related. So if that sounds like something your speed, consider subscribing and checking out some other videos after this one. It is officially the week of Halloween, so I bring upon you a Halloween special, my Sonic Spooktacular. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what the heck are ghosts in the Sonic franchise and universe. Well, I've done some research for once and decided to tell you all about it. In the Sonic universe, these ghosts are spirit breeds or species that roam the musty mansions, the dusty deserts, and the gruesome graveyards. Most of these ghosts are actually affected by sunlight, so they are found in more darker spots of the Sonic world. Ghosts first appeared in Sonic and Knuckles and have been a mainstay in the franchise really ever since. Now, there's multiple types of ghosts in the Sonic universe. The most common type are known as boos, not to be confused with boos. Boos are pranksters, and for some reason, they're obsessed with hourglasses. They're always around them, they're always trying to grab them. Then you have pumpkin ghosts, who are also in that prankster type category with the boos. The more classic type of ghost in the Sonic universe are known as Hayuadoros, I believe is how you say it. I could have completely butchered that, honestly. These are more aggressive and hostile ghosts versus the prankster type we spoke of prior. And then lastly, we have the mimic ghosts. Each type of ghost has a varying amount of powers such as levitation, turning invisible, intangibility, mimic or copy powers, and some of them are very weak to light, which is why they're seen in darker corners of the Sonic universe. Ghosts have appeared in more than just Sonic games. They've also appeared in the comics and also some of the TV shows, such as The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic Underground. Ghosts or ghouls or spirits have been a part of multiple different cultures around the world for centuries, in stories, in fairy tales, in horror novels, in media, and it usually has to do with the afterlife. In some cultures and stories, ghosts are benevolent spirits. They're friendly, they're kind, they're visiting loved ones, they're making them feel comfortable. Whereas in other cultures, they're evil, they're demonic, they have malicious intent and purpose. Some believe that spirits are those who haven't been able to pass on fully to the afterlife. They're stuck in this limbo realm or state. But it seems like in the Sonic universe, the ghosts are more so a type of creature, similar to that of a Chow. They aren't a soul of a person or character that has then moved on or is stuck in a limbo or realm. Throughout all of Sonic media, the comics, the TV shows, the movies, the video games, this has been consistent. There has never been a sign that a real-life person or character in the Sonic universe has passed on and then become a ghost or spirit. Not one single game. What the fuck is that? Okay, for the most part, it's been consistent on what ghosts are in the Sonic canon. However, goddamn Sonic 06 of all games would just have to ruin this. Who would have thought? For some reason, Sonic 06 doesn't just have one, but has two ghosts that were previously human life. Yes, there were actual humans, they died, and now their ghost is haunting Soliana. It's kinda wild. Meet Antonio. Antonio was one of the three musketeers that passed away a lifetime ago, and before he did, he and his other two musketeers, who are unnamed, hid a treasure that can only be found by the hero proving of the test of flight, strength, and speed. So does this mean that Sonic Tails and Knuckles are the successors of the Three Musketeers. My head hurts. My head hurts and we're not even done. Because Sonic 06 also has a second, that's right, 2 human ghosts. Meet Renzo. Renzo is a ghost that haunts the rooftop of Soliana Castle Town. And the reason why he does that is interesting. You see, Renzo had a very specific dream in his life, and that was to fly through rings over Soliana Castle Town because he was a pilot. But before he could join a tournament to do so, he died in a traffic accident? And so now his ghost is cursed to stand for hours on top of the roof of Soliana Castle Town, looking down at everyone. And I can't tell how tragic this is versus how pathetic and sad this is. So since Sonic and Knuckles, they have established that there are ghosts in the Sonic universe, but they're more so a creature type than being spirits from a previous life. That is, someone hasn't passed away and become a ghost, all the way up until Sonic 06, where now there's this second layer where there might be an afterlife, there might be purgatory, there might be something else beyond the light in the Sonic games? I have several questions. So you have Boos, not to be confused with Booze. You then have the Hayudoros. You also have the Pumpkin Ghosts. But then you also have the Mimic Ghosts, which, by the way, you can easily tell is a Mimic Ghost because although they look like the person they're mimicking, they don't have any legs. Then you also have these spirits of humans that have died, but they're actually spirits that are lingering in the ether, in this other dimension, this other reality, but certain characters like Silver and Sonic can see them, but then it's like when the main Sonic cast dies, do they get a ghost? Is it only humans that can have ghosts? It messes up this whole thing, and it would be easy to say that, oh, Sonic 06 is not canon, therefore we don't have to worry about this, but the problem is they're very selective on what in Sonic 06 is canon and is not canon. Silver and Blaze never talk about anything that happened in Sonic 06. Yes, I get it, nerds. There's time travel. They fixed the past to save the future. I get it. But that doesn't explain the ghost. That doesn't stop Antonio and Renzo from dying. So I need to know, Sega, Sonic Team, is this canon? Do humans, when they die, become ghosts? And also, what is the rules for that? Because Dr. Gerald is a human, he dies, he doesn't become a ghost. Maria gets fucking shot. An innocent child gets obliterated and doesn't become a ghost. I feel like if anything, she would be the number one person, the number one human in the Sonic universe to become a ghost. She didn't get any resolution for her death. My head hurts. My head hurts. Make it stop. Now, I understand there's some other ghostly characters in the TV shows and maybe the comics as well. I'm not going through the whole rigmarole with that. I'm sure there's other Sonic YouTube channels out there that have covered these obscure references. So with that being said, I'm OCDsaster and... Wait, what was that? King Boom Boo, not to be confused with King Boo. King Boom Boo, the goat, is the king of these ghostly ghouls. However, there is some confusing things about this character. So, first off, let's give you a little origin story, a little MCU background on King Boom Boo. This was actually given to us by the Tales Tube channel. King Boom Booty Boo was once a corrupt human king, and what happened was he heard about this talisman deep in the pyramids of Hidden Base, which is a level in Sonic Adventure 2, which is where he first appeared as King Boom Boo, the first boss fight, yada 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 yada. And so he hears about this talisman deep in the pyramids, this treasure that kind of grants him, immense immortal life. But in order to do that, you need to sacrifice. So he thinks, I'm going to send my royal guards with me, and I'm just going to low-key sacrifice them and take the talisman for myself. So they go down there, they find the talisman, his guards get dragged into the darkness. He's like, bet, their lives are gone, that's the sacrifice, I can now have immortal life, I can grab this talisman. He grabs it, and he gets cursed. He gets turned into a ghost. He was the sacrifice for that talisman, and now pretty much guards it and attacks anyone that goes towards the treasure. He is now the king of ghosts, King Boom Boo. King Boom Boo is the goat. He is a silly big guy. I absolutely adore his design, his rainbow tongue, his razor sharp teeth, his goofy side fish eyes. He is adorable, and he kind of just runs the show when it comes to the ghosts, and he now protects them, kind of like a papa. He's a dada, a daddy. I'm gonna stop now. And so yeah, he first appears in Sonic Adventure 2 as a boss fight with Knuckles. In order to defeat him, you have to expose him to light. So you have to run behind King Boom Boo as he's attacking you, hit a small ghost that's bouncing up and down with an hourglass. It'll flip open a switch that'll let sunlight through, and then King Boom Boo hides in the shadows, and you can bury into the ground or to the pillar that you're running around his Knuckles to do damage to him. And that's kind of where we get the start of the legend of King Boom Boo. Since Sonic Adventure 2, King Boom Boo has been reoccurring in multiple games, either as an enemy or as a set piece to a race course, such as Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed, but now is even an item in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm just going to do a quick edit here. I said Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed. It was actually Team Sonic Racing, in which King Boom Boo appeared in the track Boo's House. If you couldn't tell, I'm getting a lot of this off of the Sonic Wiki, and I don't know how these folks that edit this really came to this determination of King Boom Boo's relationships with Sonic characters, but here it says his friends and allies are Big the Cat, Froggy, Tails. He's neutral to the Eggman Empire, such as Dr. Eggman, Egg Pawn, Metal Sonic, Sage, Zavik, and Zaz. And then his enemies are Amy, the Babylon Rogues, Blaze, Cream, Chow, all of the Chow, Knuckles, Silver, Sonic, Team Chaotix, and Team Dark. I'm not really quite sure if that's factual or just the fans in the wiki editing that. I believe in the Sonic X TV show, there's an episode and he's attacking Amy. It's really creepy. I remember as a kid, I was creeped out by that one because the ghosts kind of possess Amy, and then you have Amy, but then her head, her face looks like a ghost with a smile and teeth. Oh, it's pure nightmare fuel, really. So yeah, to put these ghosts to rest, let's recap real quick. Ghosts in the Sonic franchise are more so spirit breeds or creatures or species rather than actual spirits in the afterlife after someone's passed. Unless it's Sonic 06. And from there, there's multiple types of these ghosts. There's mimic ghosts that will copy other people but still don't have legs. There's the pumpkin head ghosts, which are literally just ghosts with pumpkin heads. These are pranksters. There's boos, not to be confused with boos. There's the Hyudoros, and then there's the king of all ghosts, King Boom Boo. All of these ghosts have varying features, such as being able to go invisible, become intangible. They have sometimes fire abilities. It's really King Boom Boo that has the ability of fire. He can throw blue flames around. He makes funny noises. It's a real fun, silly time with that little prankster. Most of them are friendly and more just obnoxious than actual aggressive enemies. And a lot of them don't like the light. When the light shows up, they book it. It hurts them. So yeah, this is going to cover the ghosts in the Sonic universe. What do you guys think? Are ghosts real? Do they actually exist? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions down below, along with in relation to the Sonic games. What's your favorite ghost in the franchise? What do you think I could have done better talking about? Do you think the video was good? Do you think it was bad? I would love to hear it all. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween week, and we'll be back to more Sonic content next week. I'm OCDsaster, and I hope you have a spooky Sonic rest of your day. See ya! Alright, fine. I will talk about the elephant in the room. For all the people that are still here and haven't rage quit in the comment section and already dipped, I will talk about La and Sue and or whatever their names are really quickly, okay? Are you happy now? I didn't really want to have to cover the comics and these other, like, animation things, but here we go. Way back when Sonic Unleashed was still a thing in like 2009, there was an animated short involving Sonic, Chip, and a haunted mansion in which there were 3 ghosts, a female ghost named La, and 2 other ghosts named Sue and or something like that. And the whole premise is La likes taking pictures of people when they're scared, and Sue and they just want to impress La. So they just, you know, go around and they spook people and take pictures and try to compete with each other to impress La, right? Well, things go amok. They scare Chip a bunch, but they don't scare Sonic. Sonic is unimpressed, and so they get humiliated because Sonic eventually gets annoyed with them and turns into the werehog and scares them both. And so they're like, oh, and so they combine forces together to be a completely different type of ghost called Baker, who's like this really big, giant, green, furry ghost that attacks Sonic and beats him up pretty bad. But the problem is they can only stay in the Baker form when they're both working together, but the whole bit is that they're always like competing with one another, so they eventually do some internal fighting and break apart. And then they do another thing later. So this was all called, like, Curse of the Werehog. And they do another short later called Ghost Tales. And it's the same premise. And, I don't know. This is not really my style, guys. I was already getting a little bit too old for this kind of Sonic stuff. But I know a lot of you would read me through the coals if I didn't at least mention La, because she's somehow still very popular. I don't know. These are for kids. I'm not really quite sure where they fit in the Sonic universe, because obviously they're here. The animation looks really good, but it's just childish, and it kind of messes up this whole thing as well, because they're ghosts, but they're the most like they're like Casper the friendly ghost, where like they have a lot of human-like qualities, but they're not quite human, versus like Antonio and Renzo, who actually were full-on humans and still look human as ghosts. So this just confuses things more. They can transform into other entities, other beings. I really think they're just going with whatever they want to do with ghosts in the Sonic universe. But yeah, that's going to actually wrap it up. I'm OCDsaster, and I hope you have a super Sonic rest of your day. See ya!